Just as a disclaimer, we want you to know that some of the movies that we will be reviewing were shot in a different time and era where people of race and sex were not treated equally. We understand this and hope you do too. The movies or anything that happened on the sets are not the views of this podcast or what this show is intended to be all about.
Exactly. And we want to give due diligence in presenting the movie and not the views of the cast or directors or anyone involved. But we also feel it's necessary to let the audience know some of the background information to get a feel for what was happening at the time of shooting the film. Again, we hope you understand that we do not agree with everything that went on, and we just want to give out the information. And with that being said, hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to the first episode of the new podcast, The Tragedy of Cinema. I am your host, Jimbo, and my co-host is Terrence.
Hello, hello.
You may be asking, what is this podcast all about? And why would you want to do a podcast like this? Well, for me, Terrence, it was the love of movies. I just loved movies ever since I was a kid. Anything I could watch, I'd get my hands on. Some of them I loved, some of them I hated. But also, in this generation, I think that there's some movies that sometimes people have not seen that they should at least see once because of the storytelling is so different back then than it was today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Today. So why do you want to do this podcast, Terrence?
For me, it's about the same. Love of movies. Movies have always been a big part of my life. I mean, who doesn't love movies, right? I'm a very select few people. But yeah, I've always been big into movies, and as you know, I'm from California, and I was even, in the movie scene for a bit. I've done background work, extra work. I've seen sets and all kinds of fun, crazy stuff that, we'll get into as we go through the show. But yeah, I'm really excited to sit here and talk about movies. That's awesome.
Right. And I'd like to let everybody know that me and Terrence have only known each other about 2 weeks, but I seen him doing a podcast at a local game store, and I said, hey, you want to go get some pizza? I've got something I'd like to talk to you about.
And from then on, food was the key. I was like, I'm in.
And then from then on, we talked about the movies and the podcast, and it just seemed like a hit, and here we are. So we want to give you a little insight of what to expect from this podcast. Basically, we're going to give you the basic information that most people know. The overview, the cast, the awards if it's won anything, the synopsis of it. Then we're going to give you a little lesser known or unknown facts or trivia about the movie that you may or may not know. And then we're going to give us our opinions of the movie, whether we liked it, whether we didn't like it, we could care less for it. Maybe we haven't even seen it. But my goal is to make sure Terrence sees some of these great movies that he may have never seen before, and maybe he has some, and vice versa. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I haven't seen them either. We will, in the future, be reading any email or reviews that we get of the podcast on air. Our email is thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com. And we also will be working on a future Facebook fan page. We will also be releasing the next movie at the end of this podcast that you can look forward to and maybe watch before we
jump into our
next episode. So that way you have a little idea of when we're talking about certain scenes or people that you understand who and where and why. Or you may not want to watch it at all.
Not to mention, if you haven't seen the movies we're talking about, you have to see them.
Yeah, at least once. At least once, I would say. Also, we would also like to say that future guests will be brought in, maybe for some other movies, maybe some people with more insight, or maybe some movies that are important to them. Maybe they had somebody die and that was their grandparents' favorite movie, or just different things.
Any movie that you feel bears a significance to you, we can try to get you on.
And if you have a suggestion of a movie that you would like to see us cover, that maybe is a lesser known movie that maybe neither one of us have ever seen, we don't mind watching it and giving a review on that either. So with that, you may be asking, what on earth could their first episode possibly be about?
I wonder.
Well, let me just tell you, Terrence. I believe it is one of the greatest movies of all time, even though it was shot in the late 30s. That's 1930 for you, just so you know.
Long time ago.
Even though it was considered a total bust, it became a cult classic later on.
As most cult classics happen.
This is true. The lines from this movie are often quoted by many people, young and old, and you may even heard a famous laugh that has been stuck in your head for years after seeing this movie. And that movie is
The Wizard of Oz. And with that being said, we're going to jump right into some of the basic known knowledge of The Wizard of Oz. So as we all know, or don't know, the release date of Wizard of Oz was August 25th, 1939. And it was done and filmed with a budget of $2.8 million. And in the future, we should probably convert that to what that would be in today's money.
Do you know that was a lot of money back then?
Absolutely. So like that is probably, we're looking at maybe like a 50 million budget as far as today's standards.
At least.
We'll have to look into that. We'll do that in a future podcast, but that's always fun to know, right? When it hit the box office, it made $3 million in its original release date, to $23.3 million in re-releases. So this movie's come out on so many different things. What did it?
But it only made $3 million. It had a $2.8 million budget, and they wondered why it was a flop.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you only made $0.2 million profit.
Extra. Yeah,
right.
exactly. And yeah, so it was considered a flop in the box office, like most cult classics do, as we said before. But, you know, it came back, and now it's recognized as one of the greatest movies of all time. It's definitely won some awards, obviously, being one of the greatest movies. That being 2 Oscars. It won Best Music for Original Song and Best Music for Original Score. It's also won 7 other awards, as well as 14 nominees.
Nominations.
That's right. It also lost Best Picture to Gone with the Wind.
I mean, if you're going to lose to another movie, it's going to be another great movie.
Exactly. And so, as far as the movie goes itself, we will just go ahead and get into the synopsis of the film.
Before you get into the synopsis of the film, do you know what film The Wizard of Oz was filmed on?
As a matter of fact, I do. It was recorded on the 3-strip Technicolor. I got so many numbers in my head. So it was filmed on the 3-strip Technicolor. And little fun fact is they didn't own this equipment. They had to lease it from Technicolor themselves. And it also came with 2 experts of the equipment because the equipment was so complicating to use.
Can you imagine? You probably have more technology in your cell phone there than they had for that Technicolor equipment.
Oh, yeah. Imagine having 2 experts following me around so I can use my phone.
Just to hold your iPhone.
So, as far as, what the movie's about, the synopsis of the movie, obviously, Dorothy, a farm girl, is swept away by a tornado to the magical land of Oz. She quickly realizes she's not in Kansas anymore. One of the most famous lines. Not in Kansas anymore. And must make her way through this magical land with the help of her friends she meets along the way to meet the Wizard of Oz. Will the wizard be able to get her safely back home, or will she fall victim to the Wicked Witch of the West?
Right. Now what we would like to do is we would like to give the main cast and who they played in the movie. First of all, the little darling that everybody loved, Judy Garland, played Dorothy. Ray Bolger was the Scarecrow. Jack Haley played the Tin Man. Burt Lahr as the Cowardly Lion. He might be my favorite of them all.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Morgan as the Wizard. Margaret Hamilton as the Wicked Witch of the West. An outstanding performance. Scared me to death when I was a kid. Billy Burke, she played Glinda, the Good Witch of the North. Charlie Grapewind played Uncle Henry, and Clara Blandick as Auntie M. And let's not forget everybody's favorite, Terry, the dog known as Toto.
The dog.
But what you may not know is now we're going to dive into some little-known facts that I've kept from my co-host because I wanted his pure reaction from these facts that I found. So, Terrence, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Did you know that in the original book, the ruby slippers were not ruby? They were actually silver. They were also supposed to be silver in this movie, but the ruby would not was changed to ruby so they'd show up better in the Technicolor.
There you go. Because Technicolor was filmed on 3 different films, and then what they would do is they would impose the colors they want onto the film. Thus, silver to red.
Exactly. And this is something else that's very uncommon. There were a total of 5 directors that worked on this film.
That I
5.
didn't know.
No, and I'm getting ready to tell you who they were. And you'll see why they switched so many. The first one was Richard Thorpe. He was fired only after 2 weeks.
Wow.
I mean, what could you do to get fired after 2 weeks filming The Wizard of Oz?
Curious.
Curious minds want to know. I didn't go
Especially
that
in the 30s.
I didn't go that deep into it. The second one that's credited is George Cukor. He was taken away from this movie to go work on a little project known as Gone with the Wind.
Probably wise choice.
Victor Fleming was also called over to assist with Gone with the Wind. You know, it's amazing that this movie even got made from all the directors they kept pulling away. The fourth one, Norman Taurog. He shot test scenes for the movies before it was given to Fleming. And the last one that I found was King Vidor. He shot the Kansas scenes only and was uncredited with it for his work. Some say he finished filming once Fleming was called away.
You know, going through all of these different directors, it's amazing it did become a hit later. Because usually if you look at other movies that have been filmed by multiple directors, sometimes it doesn't make it out.
Right, and I would say that maybe the different directors had different visions that they wanted to be put into the movie.
Exactly, and sometimes that can really mess with the pacing.
But in this, I think it worked out fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, did you know that Ray Bolger, who played the Scarecrow, was originally cast to play the Tin Man? He convinced Buddy Ebsen, who was cast as the Scarecrow, to switch parts with him. Bolger preferred the Scarecrow because how he danced, they decided it would be the perfect fit for him and what he was used to. Can you imagine that con job? Hey, buddy, right? You want to switch?
Why? I like the dance.
Well, about Buddy Ebsen, I said he was scheduled to play the Tin Man. Well, he was until just 9 days into production. Buddy Ebsen had an allergic reaction to the aluminum powder makeup and was replaced by Jack Haley.
Oh, wow.
In the making of the Wizard of Oz book, which is a great book if you haven't read it, Ebsen says, "My lungs were coated with that aluminum dust that they had powdered on my face." He almost died.
Oof.
Yep.
That's a bad time to find out you're allergic to something.
Right. But don't worry. Buddy Ebsen bounced back, and he became, or landed the leading role of Jed on the TV show The Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh.
Terrence, do you even know what the Beverly Hillbillies is? Are you
I
old
know.
enough? Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. There is a little age difference here, so I'm the older one in my 40s, and Terrence is a young pup. So. Margaret Hamilton, here's another unknown fact. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, suffered severe burns on her face and hands when leaving Munchkinland in a flurry of fire. This is one of the most famous scenes when she's leaving Munchkinland and the fire shoots up and the Munchkins, her makeup was copper-based and could have killed her if it was not removed immediately. It is said that this scene was only shot twice, once with Hamilton, the other with her stunt double, who was also burned. Both said that they would not work with fire again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. After that, for no other movie would they ever work with fire. That, and I believe they got third-degree burns from that stunt.
I don't even think I would finish the movie if I got that kind of burns, because I'm a sissy.
I'd be a little miffed about that, too.
Or I'd want a little extra pay. You know?
Right.
And I don't even know if they covered the hospital expenses for them. I don't know.
I hope they did.
Oh, I hope they did, but it was a different time.
Yeah, exactly.
Margaret Hamilton had to have someone break apart her sandwich or help feed her while filming, so she didn't eat any of the makeup or touch anything. I did read a story that she did get some paint on there and ingested some and became so sick that for the rest of the time that she filmed, she would only eat liquid.
Really?
Drink liquid her lunches. Yeah.
Pretty hardcore diet.
Yeah. Did you know that Dorothy? They wanted to doll her up, and they originally had a blonde wig and makeup on her.
Really?
Yeah, because they thought it would the pretty girl. But director Cukor dumped the idea and went back to the farm girl look, which I'm glad he did.
Yeah, it would have too much. Now, given it came much later, but it would kind of give like a Alice in Wonderland kind of vibe.
Yeah,
you know?
and I just don't think it would have worked. Well as it, because how would you have a dolled up girl? You know, I just don't think it would have worked.
Yeah.
The fun fact that I don't think I put in here. Do you know who they wanted to play Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz?
I don't.
Do you have a clue? Who is
No idea.
another child actress, famous back then for making movies?
In the 30s. I have no idea.
None other than Shirley Temple. Do you know who
Oh.
Shirley Temple is?
Yeah, of course.
Right. So, yeah, they wanted her, but there was some contract dispute or between productions that the two parties couldn't come together or something. Did you know that almost every actor or actress played two parts, one in Oz and one in their Kansas counterpart?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The exception was Frank Morgan. He played a total of 5 different people in the movie. He played, if you remember, Professor Marvel at the beginning of the movie where Dorothy runs away and goes and he
that's
looks
right.
in the crystal ball. Then he also played the Wizard.
Okay. Yeah.
He also played the cabbie to the Horse of a Different Color. Remember when
Really?
they go to...
Okay. Yeah. I didn't even recognize him in that one.
Right. He also played the doorman to the Emerald City. Remember when they go knock on the door,
Yeah.
let us in, and he's crying? He played him. And he also played the armed guard leading to the Wizard's Hall.
Talk about chameleon acting, not even knowing that all those parts were the same guy.
Right. And how talented was he? But I bet he just still got paid the same amount. I don't think they paid him any extra. Which we will talk about wages at the end of the show, and you will be amazed.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Or not.
Maybe. This is one of my favorite things, and if you have not watched this, I highly recommend you go watch this on YouTube. Margaret Hamilton appeared on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood to talk to kids about her role as the evil witch.
That's awesome.
It can be viewed on YouTube. It's a little over 7 minutes long, and I highly recommend watch it because I loved Mr. Rogers too.
Did you watch the documentary?
Loved it.
Oh, so good.
Maybe we'll talk about that on a future episode too, because I really
Mr.
liked it.
Rogers is great.
But also, this was not the first film adaptation of this movie.
Really?
Nope. There was a silent one in 1910
Now that I didn't know.
that can be viewed and is only 13 minutes long. But in 1925, there was another movie made with Oliver Hardy from Laurel and Hardy fame in the role of the Tin Man.
So technically, The Wizard of Oz is a remake.
Of a remake. It's
Of a remake.
Yes, it is already 2 different shows. Did you know that?
I did not.
See, you're learning something today.
Hey, remember that? We had a conversation earlier about how many remakes are better than the original. This would be one of them.
Well,
The
how do you
remake.
know if you've never seen the other ones?
It was 13 minutes long. And obviously, I didn't even know about it. It's not critically acclaimed like the
This is
movie
true.
is.
This is true. Now, I'm going to throw this in here, but we'll talk about more of this at the end. Toto, Dorothy's dog, was paid more than the Munchkins. One of the Munchkins in the film said they made $50 a week. Toto was hauling in $125 a week in 1939.
That's so much for a dog.
That is over 2.5 Munchkins the dog was making.
Pretty much. It's so sad.
That's terrible.
I mean, the dog's
but
owner
like we
was probably super happy.
But like
about
we had in the disclaimer at the beginning, it was a different time and a different era, and they looked at different people of races and disabilities differently. So you can check out our disclaimer. Also, Toto was actually a dog, a girl dog
Really?
named Terry.
Huh.
Also, Hamilton's dressing room, Margaret Hamilton, the Wicked Witch, dressing room was a canvas tent that she said was simply awful. Billy Burke had a pink and blue dressing room on the MGM set. Hamilton would sneak over there the days that she wasn't there and eat her lunch in comfort in the comforts of Billy Burke's dressing room.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That still happens today where people get really crappy trailer arrangements and then they go to a different actor's trailer and be like, you have the better trailer. Can I just hang out with you?
This is one of my favorite things that a lot of people don't know about. In the haunted forest scene, the Scarecrow is actually carrying a gun.
Really?
Most people haven't noticed this. Go
Huh.
back and watch, if you have to pull up on YouTube or whatever, just watch this, the haunted forest, just type in Scarecrow gun, and it will show you this. I can't believe a lot of people didn't see it. I've showed this to several people, and they're like, oh, it is there.
Wow.
Because they're not really paying attention to what's in his hand, but you can see
Yeah.
him. It's right there.
Hey, if you're going in a haunted forest, got to come strapped.
But if it's haunted, is a bullet going to do anything?
You never know until you try.
Contrary to popular belief, I know we have all heard about the Munchkin or the stagehand or somebody committing suicide in the background of the scene with the witch on top of the roof where they go find the Tin Man. But this is not true. This was actually a bird on loan from a zoo. They got a couple of exotic birds and had them on loan.
It was caught that they would do another take if that was an actual thing that happened.
Exactly. Right? Or maybe...
But then again, film
maybe it costs
is expensive.
Exactly.
Even now, film is very expensive. So it's sometimes hey, we're getting this done in 1 to 2 takes, and that's all we got.
But especially in that Technicolor, it could have been crazy expensive.
Exactly.
So it is my opinion that it wasn't a suicide, that from all the research that I read and all the books that I've read, that it says they were exotic birds all in the background, unknown from a zoo.
Gotcha.
What do you think?
I would like to believe it's a bird.
You would like to believe, but you need more proof. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I mean, the people on set know.
But I don't think we will ever find out because most of those people are dead now, if not all of them. There might be one Munchkin, but I think he just died late last year or the year before. Also, did you know that the horse of many colors was actually covered with different flavors of Jell-O to make him change colors?
Really?
He changed.
Huh.
I mean, how would you clean that off?
That sounds awful.
I mean, that would be terrible.
Probably have one of the PAs do it. Come on, clean the horse.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. The actress who voiced Snow White, Disney Snow White the cartoon, her voice actually has a cameo in The Wizard of Oz.
Really? Huh.
When the Tin Man sings, "If I Only Had a Heart," the line was, "Wherefore art thou, Romeo?" is actually the voice of Snow White.
That's awesome.
Did you know that?
I did not.
See,
that's
I
a
love
new one.
this.
Yeah, that's
I
a
love
new
this.
one. Really pulling some stuff that's way out there, but I like it. I dig it.
Dorothy's shirt she wore was actually light pink, which made it look white in Technicolor.
Back to that Technicolor magic.
And you know what? I don't know all the movies that have been shot in Technicolor, but it seems like it's a hard process to complete.
I'm sure the people in the editing room had a really tough time.
Like, I'm going to have a really tough time editing this podcast. The Wicked Witch of the West was actually a kindergarten teacher before she became an actress.
Really?
Can you imagine having the Wicked West
as a teacher? I'm pretty sure there's some kids that are like, yeah, I can see it.
Here's another one that you may not know. The crystal ball that was used, remember when she was looking at a crystal ball, was actually a prop from an old Boris Karloff film, The Mask of Fu Manchu.
Really?
I need to find that because I'd like to see that.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool.
Here's something else that PETA would not like. The lion's costume, the Cowardly Lion's costume weighed 100 pounds.
Oh, my.
And was made from real lion pelts.
I feel like that's a little overboard. I mean, not only it must have been so hot in that.
They said that they had like 2 or 3 extra people because they said with the Technicolor being shot and the weight of that he would just sweat. And they had 2 people that would actually just air out his suit, get paid to air it out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's stuck in that for who knows how long a day. The ruby slippers were size 5.
Oh, wow.
Shoe size 5. There were 4 pairs made for filming. The Smithsonian had a pair of rubies that were so observed that they had to replace the carpeting in front of them several times.
Oh, wow. People love those ruby slippers. I mean, they're iconic. I mean,
it's just... Exactly. We're talking about probably the greatest movie of all time. And just to see a piece of that, I would go see it.
Why not?
Exactly. If it's in the Smithsonian, you know. Judy Garland loved working with that little dog Toto so much that she actually wanted to adopt her from their owners. But the owner would not sell her.
Oh, man. That sucks. I like how in some movies you get this bond with the actor and like the animal that's working on set.
You can really tell in this movie that they bonded.
Well, that's like, for example, in Lord of the Rings, Aragorn, he bought that horse.
Really?
That he worked with, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you another movie, Beastmaster, when he had to work with those ferrets and the falcon or whatever it was.
Yeah. Did you get to keep those?
I don't think he got to keep them, but the bonding was there.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll tell you a story about that on another episode about the Beastmaster.
Absolutely.
I talked to him. Here's something else that I just thought was hilarious. Professor Marvel at the beginning of the movie where Dorothy runs away and she goes sees his little horse carriage,
Yeah.
Professor Marvel, and she goes in there and he's like, "Well, why are you running away?" And he's looking around and he sees that picture of Annie M in her basket. He gets it out and he's like, "I see a woman." You remember this?
Yeah.
He doesn't give the picture back to Dorothy.
He just keeps the
She
picture.
keeps the picture.
Con man.
I mean, she took off in a hurry, right? But I was like, he didn't even give the picture back.
Didn't even make an attempt.
Here's something that you might like because you've been in the movie business. The electricity that comes from the Wicked Witch trying to grab the ruby slippers away from Dorothy was actually apple juice shooting from them sped up in Technicolor.
You gotta love those the way they pull off special effects,
Especially
in older
back
movies.
then. Yes.
They had to be really creative. Like, how are we gonna get this effect?
And how is it going to look believable?
Exactly.
Loved it. I mean, one of the famous scenes where Dorothy slaps the Cowardly Lion, he jumps out and scares her, and she turns around, she hauls off, she just slaps him. It has been said that Victor Fleming actually pulled her aside and slapped her on the face.
Oh, geez.
It is said that the very next take, she nailed it. Getting slapped?
I mean, it's for the film. I mean, it's interesting because there's plenty of films where obviously there's fake hitting, but sometimes it actually happens, and it makes for a great take. But at the same time, ouch.
Well, these aren't in my notes. I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here. The way Judy Garland was treated on this set was beyond despicable.
Oh, absolutely. So
They had to have her wear a special corset to make her look younger, her bosom look younger because it was bigger than what.
geez,
she was
yeah,
wearing.
yeah.
I've also read that some of the Munchkins took advantage of her.
Oh no.
Yeah, just because she was thought of lesser than the other people, and I don't agree with that.
Nah, not at all. The way she was treated, it was terrible. And this happens and you'll see in our other episodes, but especially when it comes to older movies, this happened to a lot of lead female actresses. Were amazing roles, critically acclaimed movies, but just treated terribly.
They also said that she was on film so much, on the set so much, that they were actually giving her drugs like speed and stuff to stay up and keep up with the acting. And they think that started her downfall, what ended her life so soon.
So sad.
So off of my rabbit trail, let's get back to it. Several of the winged monkeys were injured when their cables that were holding them broke and they fell several feet.
Wow.
I mean, you got to take care of your stuntman.
Yeah.
And the background. I don't know what was going on this set, but it just seems like a lot of people were not paying attention or doing their job.
There seems to be a handful of accidents that happened.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about another one here in a little bit. The Flying Monkeys, here's something you may not know. The Flying Monkeys and the Witches' Castle Guards had the exact same uniform.
Really? Huh.
It's kind of weird when you.
I'm gonna have to like really keep an eye on it.
You're going
next time I
to
check
be
it out.
watching this here in a little bit and be like, oh wow, yeah.
Right.
Another one. Pay attention to Judy Garland's hair length. It changes several times during the movie.
Really.
Right.
It's those little details you miss.
It's little details. I mean,
Was it because it was shot over a long period, or
I would assume so. I mean, your hair
Yeah.
don't just grow overnight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I would assume so. Here's something else. Do you think you have a rough work schedule? And I have a rough work schedule? Most of the actors had to arrive on set as early as 4 a.m.
oof?
to get into costume and makeup and had to stay as late as 8 p.m.
That's harsh.
That is terrible. One of the winged monkeys also stepped on one of Toto's feet and broke it.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Not the dog.
The dog got his leg broke.
He makes enough money to fix it.
Here's something else that a lot of people don't know is the actress who played Annie M. She was only had a small part in the movie at the beginning and also a little spot in Oz and at the end. She actually committed suicide in 1969.
Oh no!
She was battling debilitating arthritis and was going blind.
Oh jeez.
And in 1969, there really wasn't much they could do. Not that there's not much they can do now.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe some more medicine. But here's the last thing I'd like to talk about, and this kind of made me mad. And I talked to Terrence about it a little bit.
Yeah, we've gone in length over the short time we've talked about certain things, and it's just it's really criminal on the huge difference in wage
All right.
of everyone.
We're going to talk about the wages of the cast. Terrence, if I asked you, Who do you think made the most money per week? Who would you say?
Well, you would think the main actress, right?
Which was Dorothy?
Exactly.
Wrong. We're going to start with the highest salary, and we're going to work our way down to the lowest salary. The highest two paid people of cast members, one was Ray Bolger, who played the Scarecrow, and the other was Jack Haley, the Tin Man. They both made $3,000 per week in 1939. $3,000 a week.
That's a lot.
Burt Lahr came in, and Frank Morgan, the Wizard, they both came in a close second with $2,500. Where's Dorothy? Oh, we're still nowhere close to her salary yet. Margaret Hamilton, the Wicked Witch of the West, she was paid $1,000 a week. Billy Burke, Glinda the Good Witch of the North, was paid $766 a week.
And we still haven't seen Dorothy. And these are two characters that did not have that much screen time compared.
No. Are you ready for this one? This is the one that these are the two that I still can't believe made more money than Dorothy. Charlie Grapeman and Clara Blandick, who played Uncle Henry and Annie, they both made $750 a week.
Which they definitely had less screen time than everyone on the list.
Uncle Henry didn't have hardly anything.
Maybe a couple lines.
Lines at the beginning and maybe one at the end. And guess what? Still no Dorothy. She is your main actress of this movie, and still no Dorothy.
But here she made the movie.
The one who made it what it is. It's unbelievable. And this goes back to the beginning when we said that this was a different time and era where they just didn't pay people the same. And it was unfortunate because Judy Garland hit this out of the park. So finally on the list, Judy Garland, who played Dorothy, the main actress, was getting paid $500 a week.
It's criminal.
That is $2,000 less than any of the Scarecrow, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, the Wizard, and it's half of what the Wicked Witch of the West was making.
And you know what's really sad is that she basically went through so much to get into finally a star role to only get paid less than everyone else.
But here's where it gets even crazier. She only made about 4 times as much as Terry Toto, the dog. The dog was making, as we said earlier, $125 a week.
It's a lot.
A dog in 1939 was making $125 a week. And your main actress, Dorothy, was only making $500 a week. Am I the only one that sees a problem with this?
There's a huge problem with that.
And then, of course, we have coming in with only $50 a week, the Munchkins. I also read that some of the Munchkins, some of the more ones that stood out, that they got paid up to $100 a week.
Wasn't the guy who played R2 in one of the Munchkins?
That I did not come across. I could not tell you.
I think so. I don't want...
I do know that there was one Munchkin. I think he was the coroner. I didn't write it down. I should have. But he was the youngest fighter pilot in World War II.
Wow. Okay. That's
I think for Britain.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't write that down. Well, with that being said, this episode, the first episode of The Tragedy of Cinema, is coming to a close. If I had to give this a rating, a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you should only watch once and never watch again, or 10, it's fantastic, you should enjoy it anytime it comes on TV and stop and watch it, I'm going to have to give this a 10. Just from the fact that this movie, when I was growing up, only cook some popcorn, parents would let me stay up late, and we'd sit down and we'd watch this show as a family. And it was always a special time. Now you have DVDs, you have digital. You can watch it anytime you want, even take it with you on your phone if you want.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we're talking about before VHSs and DVD players. I know you have never experienced that experience because you're younger.
I mean, I was there for the VHS.
Right, but not having anything.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
You had to wait till it came on TV,
or catch it when it was in theaters.
Or in theaters.
You were around, or I'm sure they had re-showings in theaters. If they had the film still.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not sure. One thing we would like to do is we would like to tell you our next.
Wait, I gotta give my rating.
Oh, do we really care about your rating?
So here's an interesting take. So I would give it, I'd say a 7, and there's a couple different reasons. I do recognize that it is a classic, and I'm not going to take that away, absolutely. But given how a lot of the cast was treated, especially Dorothy, it's hard for me to look past that, especially. There's just so much happened to her that it's just so sad. But absolutely looking past that, I'm very picky with musicals. So for me, it was. I also give it lower, and this is kind of a funny story. I watched The Wiz first, and I did not know what The Wizard of Oz was.
Really?
Yeah. So the first time I heard someone mention The Wizard of Oz, I was like, wait, you mean The Wiz? And they're like, no, The Wizard of Oz. And the first time I watched it, I didn't watch it with sound. I watched it in sync with the soundtrack of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, which is an amazing experience. If you haven't done it, look up online how to watch The Wizard of Oz with Dark Side of the Moon. It's a great experience. The album goes perfectly with the movie.
Have you ever watched The Wizard of Oz by itself?
I have, yes.
How many times?
Twice.
Twice. Did you make it all the way through without falling asleep?
Oh, yeah, no, I went all the way. I don't fall asleep during
So
movies.
I don't understand why you would give the movie a lower rating just based upon the stuff that happened outside of the movie.
No, it's just my own opinion and how I feel. So I've only watched it twice just because for me, and what I look for in a movie, like I said, I recognize it's a cult classic. It's just not what it doesn't keep me interested enough to come back over and over and over and over.
So,
and that's just a personal preference.
Where would you place this as on the spectrum of the greatest movie of all time?
The greatest movie of all time.
Of all time.
So that's a difficult
According
one,
to all the charts and everything.
Movies.
According to every single chart that you look up, The Wizard of Oz is going to be in the top 5 most of the times, maybe the top 10, maybe even the top 2. Between this and Gone with the Wind, almost everything you look up.
Well, if you're looking at the top ones, usually Casablanca's up there too.
It's in the top 10 too, I do believe. But I'm just saying, it's such a great movie.
But based off other classics that I love and watch all the time, it's definitely not one I revisit over and over.
Do you think that anybody that has not seen it should at least watch it once?
Absolutely. It is definitely worth a watch.
There is so many quotes and songs that you'll be singing. Like, I still sing If I Only Had a Brain to my wife sometimes just because I forgetful of stuff. So, do you have any closing remarks before I go into some special thanks or anything?
Watch the movie if you haven't seen it.
I agree. Also, we would like to go ahead and announce our next podcast, episode 2. We have chose a different genre. We're going to be choosing different genres, so it's not the same every time we do a podcast. But next time we record, it is going to be on one of Taryn's favorites, the original Psycho.
Yes.
I believe that movie is one of the best too.
It's so good. The things they did in that movie. We'll get into it.
Yes, we can.
I'm so excited to record that episode. It's such a good movie.
Such a good movie. So we wanted to give that out ahead of time in case you guys wanted to watch the original Psycho with us or alongside of us. That way next week, or if you have any questions or anything, you can email them to us. But that way you would know what we were talking about. If we're talking about a certain scene or a certain person, you would know what to look for or who to look for, or hey, I remember that scene.
And make sure it's the original and not the remake.
Yeah, the remake was terrible. We're not even going to acknowledge that one existed. But I would like to give a couple of special thanks out. There's 2 people that I could not have done this without. One of them is Jerry and Tracy Pauly of Hillbilly Horror Stories podcast. If you haven't checked them out, please give them a listen. You can find them anywhere that podcasts are shown: Stitcher, iTunes. Leave them a review. Spotify, Stitcher. They are fantastic people. About a year ago, I had some questions, so I emailed Jerry and I said, Jerry, I got some questions about podcasting. I got this idea for a podcast and I don't know how to do it. I don't know anything about it. He's like, well, yeah. He's like, I'll help you. We come see you. I said, how about I take you out to Texas Roadhouse, treat you and your wife to lunch? And they were more than willing to drive from Lexington, Kentucky down to Louisville after I got off work and answer any questions I had. Just got a great time. Now we've become pretty good friends.
That's awesome.
So thanks, Jerry and Tracy. You guys mean a lot more to this podcaster than you will ever know. Thanks for making it become a reality. The second one would be we'd like to thank DJ Scotty B for our bumper music. I think he did a good job. He's not done yet. We're gonna be cutting some more music in this and putting it in here. Maybe an exit
definitely.
music. So if you guys want to give him a shout out too and see if he did a good job, go ahead and hit him up with that. Remember, if you want to leave us any information or anything, our email is thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com. So Terrence, you got any final thoughts?
I would say definitely look forward to our next episode featuring Psycho. That's it.
Well, I was going to say thanks everybody for giving this podcast a listen. Until next time, that's a wrap.
Cut.
So how do we do?